Good evening and welcome to Monday Night on Bad Dog Comedy TV, live on YouTube and Ayaka's Kitchen. Now, please give it up for your warm-up act, a toast.
Hello! Hello, everybody! How are you doing? Okay. Another season, another episode. I got another jokes. Are you ready? Are you ready for another jokes? Okay, goes like this. Knock, knock. Who's there? I'm a martial artist. I'm a Japanese martial artist. Wait, I'm messing it up. Never mind. I'm a number 10 martial artist in Japan. Number 10 martial artist in Japan. Who? Jew. like HD Sashi Gorokisaku Jew. HD Sashi Gorokisaku Jew. I'm a toast. Oh my gosh. You know which martial art I play? I do martial art of judo. Up to 10. It's judo. I'm a toast. Oh my gosh, that was horrible, wasn't it? Okay, I'm ashamed. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Okay. Toast always, the jokes are B-, but the delivery is 125%. Today was, starting at like C+ of the season premiere of Ayaka's Kitchen. Well, it's gonna get better. And it's gonna be very delicious anyway. Hi, I'm Ayaka. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ayaka's Kitchen on Bad Dog Comedy TV. Bad Dog is a great place to be. It's so inspiring. Bad Dog is such a great place to be. Such a great community. And now it's a community of the world. Because it's on YouTube. Everyone's watching from all over the world. So if you are capable, let's support Bad Dog Comedy TV. Donation link is underneath. Let's support the heck out of Bad Dog Comedy TV. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe, like. Subliminal message. Seann still got it. Amazing. Okay, so yes, another episode, another joke, bad joke, and another yummy sushi making today. And I'm happy to introduce you to my friend. And yeah, I got a bunch of materials here, and it's gonna be a double sushi making episode today. So I'm super excited. So let's just bring her up here. Hello, Becky. Hi. I love this mirroring. Hello. Hi, Becky. Thank you. I miss you too. Thank you for being here in my kitchen on the other side of the screen.
I'm in my kitchen on the other side of Parkdale, so it works.
Okay. Yes, we are somewhat neighbors, I guess. Yeah. Thank you so much. And today, guess what, everybody? Becky came to bring me all those food materials because this restaurant is very special, and we all have to go there. But it's a little far from where I live. So yeah, United Bakers right here. Right? We all have to go there. But yeah, I'm super excited to try this new food. I've never tried this before, so trying new food and trying to make good sushi and eating and all those great times. So I'm excited. So Becky, tell us, what is your background?
Okay, I'm Jewish from Eastern Europe, but I personally was born in what we're now calling Vancouver, the unceded territory of the Squamish, the Salish, and the Tsawwatus First Nations on the Salish Sea. And I love that place, but it's extremely far from where apparently my people come from. So I'm an Ashkenazi Jew on one side of my family. That means Eastern European. So that's like as far back as I know where we're from. but also were people who arrived in Europe at a certain point. So there's a lot of sort of movement involved in the history. And I, for my own self, growing up on the west coast of this continent, I've always felt very far away from that. Basically, in a way, it's like my family moved from Russia and Poland and Germany a long time ago, moved all the way across the continent until I almost made it back. Like I just had to cross the ocean and be back in Russia. But also, my family is I'm at least a fourth generation Canadian Jew. I mean, that's before Canada existed. And it goes further back than that. So I don't know a ton about exactly where we came from or how long we've been here. But it's quite unusual to be a Jewish family that has been on this continent for that long. And yeah, and then ending up in the West Coast wilderness.
Wilderness. Yeah, thank you for land of acknowledgement. Yeah, thank you so much for that. This episode particularly, I think I will sound ignorant and uneducated today. I have so many questions about your culture and background. Okay, so yeah,
answer questions.
I'm not gonna even hide how much I don't know about your culture. So you mentioned Jewish. Do I even call it Jewish culture? I know it's a religion.
I know. Okay, first of all, these questions are extremely they're honest because it's a very confusing thing. How can a religion also be an ethnicity? Also, I can't see the chat, unfortunately, but call me out in the chat if I say stuff because I don't know. I don't know the answers to everything. What I do know, again, because of this sort of history of movement and wandering and coming into Europe from the Middle East, and anti-Semitism and racism, the Jewish communities in those areas stayed quite insular, and also because of religion, and as we're going to get to, because of dietary laws. So all I know is that if you do take a DNA test, which I have not done, Ashkenazi Jew comes up as an ethnicity. So it's a religion that you can convert to, but it's also an ethnic background. So I, for instance, am not religious, but when I have to answer, what am I? I'm an Ashkenazi Jew.
That is so interesting. So there are Jewish people who don't practice the religion, but as a person, like I am Jewish, and
that's me.
That's your race. Oh, and also you also said you can convert to be Jewish. So like if I'm like, oh, I want to be Jewish, I don't have that blood, but I can be Jewish. Is that what you said?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can convert to be Jewish, and also. And also it's true. Questions are not ignorant. And I know there's a lot of discomfort around talking about Judaism. So I'm really happy to discuss this stuff. So you can convert to be Jewish, but obviously you can't convert to change your DNA. And there's intermarriage. My last name is Johnson. My father's not Jewish. So I'm also other things.
Okay. And you keep saying Ashkenazi. Is that a type of Jewish religion, like part of Jewish?
It's not a religious.
Seann.
There we go.
Thank you, Seann.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is amazing. So there are 3 different kinds of ethnic Jews. One is Ashkenazi Jews, who are like what I am from Eastern Europe. Then there's also the Sephardic Jews, who are from North Africa, who also have slightly different dietary laws. And then the Israeli or Palestinian Jews who never left the Middle East. Of whom there are not as many, the Sabras. So, and again, separated a long time ago and are considered distinctly ethnic. Again, I'm not an ethnographer, so I don't really know. And like I said, my family has been separated from that part of our Judaism for a long time, of being in Europe. My grandfather, who would be over 100 if he were still alive, fought for Canada in the Second World War.
Wow.
But
like you,
I was going to say, which is intense.
Oh yeah, it is very intense.
That's also a story we don't talk about. We don't talk about Jewish soldiers as we come up to Remembrance Day. We don't talk about Jewish soldiers fighting for Canada, but it happened. And also there was a lot of anti-Semitism in the Canadian Army. So
I see.
It's complicated.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh, I'm gonna sound so uneducated. Canada fought against who in the war?
Germany.
Germany.
Yeah,
okay,
we fought
so
with the Allies.
like they're trying to protect Jewish people.
And we also fought against Japan.
Yes, I knew that. I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this episode, so many questions. Okay, so
I know it's getting heavy. I mean, and also they didn't really know necessarily that they were fighting to protect Jewish people at the time either, according to my grandfather, who's now passed away.
Okay.
But there was a lot of that stuff that they found out afterwards because it was not an internet era.
Yes, now I'm gonna Google a lot after this episode.
So am I.
Okay, so
I already Googled a lot to prepare for this. I want to get everything right and I won't.
Thank you so much. Let's talk about food, and I'm gonna start making sushi. So tell us what you got for us today.
Okay, and I'm gonna start making sushi too. I'm very excited about
Yay! Double sushi.
I'm doing my best.
Okay,
so what I this jar of goo is gefilte fish.
Gefilte fish.
Gefilte. You kind of pronounce the E as like
Gefilte.
And so when you try to take it out of there, it's going to be kind of like, you got to kind of get it all at once. It's going to want to fall apart.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So you
Okay.
have to take it out as like a ball.
It's a fish. It's some kind of fish.
So, okay, just like Judaism is hard to define, so is gefilte fish, because gefilte fish is not a species of fish. It's a way of preparing multiple fish into one bowl.
Okay. So way of cooking, like
there's no like
or frying or.
There's no gefilte fish swimming around. It's always made out of white fish. I think, again, didn't Google this. I think it's only freshwater fish because I don't think it's things like sole or halibut. But so this was a dish that, again, as far as I know, came from Eastern Europe and was like a mishmash of different fish. Certainly with my family throughout Canada in the prairies, it became a very important staple. And one of the things about gefilte fish is like, okay, so growing up, it would always be at like Passover and stuff like that. I found it to be disgusting. And I have to say
wait, Passover?
Yeah, you'd have it at your Passover dinner. So religious family gatherings. Another thing, religion and community are so intertwined, or were in my family, that even, I mean, Passover as a dinner is a religious observation, but it's also a time to gather and it's social. So anyway, so at Passover, this would come up, which is...
I have so many questions. Growing up
Oh, yeah. I'm not Hasidic, and nor was my family, but I can speak a little bit to that. Again, we're all going to get in trouble tonight. But so like these social gatherings have religious connotations, and that's where gefilte fish would often be served. I hated it. I thought it tastes like cat food, and I would warn anybody off ever buying any in a jar at a grocery store because I find that disgusting. But this stuff from United Bakers was the first time I had gefilte fish I liked. And sorry to insult my family's gefilte fish, but they're all dead and I'm not going to find out. So
yeah, in trouble. Okay, but yeah, okay. United Bakers, everybody go there and try it. You also gave me something else. What is this?
Oh, that's blintz. So were you saying you're going to put all this into the same roll? I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, really? I was going to, but thank you for stopping me. So
yeah, I misunderstood. I was like, I don't think we should put this all there. Like, this is like, that's a cheese blintz. Much more palatable for all palates. Although I do think Japanese sushi and gefilte fish might have some overlapping umami flavor. But anyway, this is what I find interesting about dishes like this, is that it's an Eastern European dish. This sort of wraps into the Hasidic thing. It's an Eastern European dish, doesn't have any connection religiously to Judaism, but with people like the Jewish people in diaspora, the sense of cultural continuity was really important. So things get codified like food and like dress in the case of Hasidic people that actually comes from Eastern Europe during this time of diaspora and not from anything related to the Torah, from anything religious. It just, these practices hold community together. And and this gefilte fish, United Bakers, what's wonderful about it and special is that it's a dairy restaurant. So they don't serve any meat except for fish, because of the rules of kosher. And these places, again, are observing something religious, but because they become a cultural hub, they become more than that. So every time I will go with my grandparents, I just went there with my uncle a couple weeks ago. The whole time it's like, oh, Morty, how are you doing? How's your hip? And like people just, it's the gathering point. And that's why when I was like, is there somewhere downtown? I was like, no, we have to go to Lawrence Plaza. Like, I don't know all these people because I didn't grow up here. My mother did, and my grandparents did, but I did not. But every time I go with a family member, they're like, oh, we saw that your son was having a bar mitzvah, and how's he doing? You know, like, these are the central places, and these are the foods. Yeah, Seders are a mix. They're really fun because you're also supposed to, like, get drunk. Like, that's part of it.
What is Seder? What is Seder?
Seder is the Passover observation, and Seder in Hebrew means schedule, actually. But it's like a dinner that has a special schedule. You do this, you ask questions, you eat foods that have to do with the Exodus from Egypt. You talk about building pyramids and stuff like that. And again, religious, historical, mythological, cultural, they all blend.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Like, it's such a communal based culture. It's what I'm understanding right now. Like, people gather and talk about like your family stuff and friends and how they're doing, all that kind of stuff, but more like a tighter bond because of the Jewish, I guess, tie, instead of neighbors getting together. Is that somewhat correct?
I guess. I mean, also these like any gathering thing, it's like Thanksgiving. Like, there's also fights. Families brought together.
Wait, and is Jewish culture more like you speak like very straightforward and you fight? Is that's what it is?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's no monolith, but in my experience, oh boy, yes. Fiery, to the point, you know. Some might say rude, some might say direct, depends on your perspective. But in my family, it's definitely like this, and like then we all laugh and like.
Okay, at the end you all laugh. That's good. Oh, Japanese culture is pretty opposite. Japanese culture is more like you don't really speak up. And I'm learning how to speak up. I need to learn from Jewish people then.
Well, I mean, I will say also sometimes my grandparents would be like, she should just know. I'm not saying she should know what's she doing here. How dare she show up like in this way that you know never. It's just constant traps in my family.
So you mentioned food and culture are the part like it brings people together. What else do you eat? You also mentioned kosher. I don't know much about kosher. You have to tell me more about kosher.
I mean, you don't have to apologize for not understanding what a different religion's bonkers religious beliefs and the dietary needs.
Thank you.
Kosher, well, also the laws of kosher are like, I don't know, there's like hundreds of them. So in the Torah, it says there's certain like laws that God gave down, apparently. And
Torah is that like a Jewish Bible?
Yeah, it's the Old Testament of the Bible, and it's the
Old
Jewish
Testament.
Yeah, of the Christian Bible, and it's the primary religious text, although there are others. Okay. So in the Torah, there's rules like, for instance, thou shalt not cook the calf in the milk of its mother. So for that reason, if you observe strict kosher, you don't ever eat milk and meat together. And you have to wait hours between eating it. And you have to wash out your mouth, and you have to have different sets of dishes. And that is, and this is religious stuff. I mean, I guess it's cultural, but it's religious. Those extra rules are like, they're in the Talmud, which is another religious text, which is ongoing, made by scholars, where the rules in the Talmud are supposed to make sure that you never can break the rules in the Torah. So for instance, Talmudic scholars are still like out there trying to figure out what to do if there's pig genes in a genetically modified tomato.
Yeah.
Like the issues are ongoing. Yeah, are you allowed to have like a cybernetic implant for your hip, or is that considered working on the weekends? It's all this kind of stuff. And so there's all these different rules, but they also include stuff that we don't talk about, like, you can't eat pigs, but you also can't eat camels. You can't eat eagles. You can't eat spiders, but you can eat crickets.
Okay, crickets are the future of the protein, people say. So I guess that covers the camel and the pig and a little bit of spider action. Eagles. Wait,
yeah, you're not allowed to eat birds of prey, but you can eat chicken.
Oh,
you can't eat a hawk. You can't eat a hawk. Wow. Like I said, some of these things come up more often.
Eagle, run away! Wait, can you drink alcohol?
Yes, Jews can drink alcohol. Muslims cannot. In fact, alcohol is a big part of a lot of the observances and celebrations. And I can't remember
anything that crawls.
Yeah. No. Okay. No, yeah, you can't eat stuff that crawls. Honestly, I think the rule is you can eat a bug if it launches itself around from its back legs or something.
Okay, so if you don't want to be eaten, crawl around and you'll be fine.
If you're a Jewish person to eat you.
I hear often kosher salt. Is that what's the difference from regular salt? Kosher salt?
You know what, Ayaka? That's a really good question. I have no idea.
Okay, I'll Google it.
I don't know, but you use salt. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have an eagle in it. You use salt to apparently also with meat. I eat seafood, but I don't eat other meat. You're not allowed to eat any blood, so they suck all the blood out with salt. I personally, as a vegetarian, can't understand how meat is considered to not have blood in it at all.
Yeah,
but apparently the Talmud they figured it out. I don't know.
Do crickets don't bleed? Crickets don't have blood? I have no idea. I feel so uneducated today.
This is what it's like when you sit around. But is it not also said that a cricket can bleed? Oh no, it isn't. That's the joke of the old wise man. But could it not also be that on the weekend when you pour water? Kosher means a rabbi inspected it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, a rabbi's inspected it, but again, the rules shift. Different rabbis believe different things. It's the big rules we got down, but it's a moving target. Anyway, so
really, so it depends on who's your rabbi. Maybe you are able to eat certain things, and maybe you're not supposed to eat certain things.
Yeah, in fact, Sephardic Jews have different rules about, I don't know, eating rice and Passover. Passover, there's an extra rule where you don't eat any grains except for matzah. Ashkenazi Jews include rice. Well, if you're an Eastern European Jew, you don't eat rice, but if you're a North African Jew, you do, because I think rice just didn't come up that much in Poland.
Yeah. Imagine if you are that type of Jewish person living in Asia. You can't eat anything. You have to eat rice.
I don't know. It's like how the Pope declared that capybaras were fish so that people wouldn't starve. It's all weird.
But are you joking or that's true? That actually happened?
That did happen. That happened. That was a
I
South
thought you were just
American
improvising and telling us a joke.
Okay, it's called kosher salt because they would kosher meat by using a type of coarse grain salt to drain blood from the meat. So I did have it right. The salt itself isn't kosher. It just kosherizes meat. Mark. Yeah, you know what? Of all the Talmudic scholars, I trust Mark Andrade's take on whether or not we should be eating crickets. I'm not trying. It's the future.
Yeah. Oh, so interesting. Thank you, everybody. Today, it's such an educational episode. I'm learning so much from everybody.
And is this information useful? By the way, I'm pretty proud of what's gone on here.
Show us.
There's a bit of a mess, but they look freaking cute. Okay, wait.
What? You already made some? That's so a
Was
flower.
I not supposed to?
No, yes, you can. You're faster than me. I'm still rolling.
Well, I think yours are mine are kind of falling apart. Oh my gosh, and I dropped a knife.
Oh please.
Wow. Anyway,
okay.
I mean, and also you did yours the harder way with the rice on the outside.
trying to make it more I don't know, less Japanese actually. This is not Japanese sushi. If anyone knew, this is North American way. Yeah. You said
wait, I forgot a really important ingredient.
Yeah, okay. What is it? Oh, tell us. Yes, I have that too. Tell us, what is it?
This is horseradish. Sorry, I forgot. This is very important.
It's like magenta.
It's horseradish with beet juice on it. Now, also, I'm allergic to beets, but for some reason I can eat this, and it's not enough to make me sick.
I love this color.
And smell it.
Oh my god.
This is some of the best horseradish I've ever had in my life. I cannot stress enough how much the hour-long bus ride to United Bakers is worth it.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow, this is
I made my own choices. And
this is a great replacement for wasabi.
That's what I was thinking. It's like opposite color, similar.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, strong. This is strong. Okay, I made the fish sushi. I'm gonna quickly make the other one with the how do you say it? The cheese one?
The cheese ones are blintzes.
I'm gonna make blintzes sushi quickly. So Becky, tell us more about. You said fashion. You said like food and fashion are the ones like you talk about a lot.
Fashion?
The community. Yeah. Did you say fashion at some point?
Oh, clothing. Yeah. So this is this is more with like. Well, okay. So the fashion thing, I've never seen it translate into people who aren't religious, but like say when you see like up at Lawrence Plaza, you see Sephardic Jews and there's different outfits, big fur hats sometimes. And again, if there's any Sephardic Jews in the audience, I'm sorry, I mean Hasidic, not Sephardic. And I'm getting something wrong, I'm sorry. Obviously I'm a bad Jew, I have tattoos. But like big hats and stuff. A lot of these things came from Eastern Europe and they became markers of the shtetl, the little Jewish villages. And so they were maintained, but there's nothing in the Torah, as far as I know, that says you should wear a big wool hat all the time.
Oh, really? Then why do you?
It's just because of this is the sort of diaspora feeling. So I know that this has come up on the show before, the notion of diaspora, which I love as a word because it's like spores or seeds. It means the spreading of the seeds. But
I didn't even know that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, there's some etymology in the mix. But again, my Jewish family has been on the move for so many hundreds of years. And so have other Eastern European Jews. So these cultural practices are used to maintain a sense of identity. That's why some things have set, like again, gefilte fish has nothing to do with religion except that it's a fish thing and you can eat it with dairy, but it's just something that's stuck. And then those things become traditions as people move. And like I said, like, my family coming from Russia to Canada to Toronto, I've got family in Winnipeg. I ended up on the West Coast. Like I can understand why these things are held on to because we're so far away and have been for so long. And I like it. I like being out in the world. I like assimilating. I like having a culture that blends and a culture that's within myself. But I get it. It's how to maintain your stories and your history.
Yeah, you just put that so beautifully. I feel like belongingness, I guess you can say, makes you feel, I don't know, secure in a way of like, okay, like I'm not by myself. I can understand those people. They understand me. And like I belong in like culture or religion or whatever the community it is. I think it's such a beautiful thing and very important to some people. Some other people may not feel that way, but like I feel like belongingness is so beautiful and important.
And to me, it's a real mix of hanging on to yourself, but also, like I said, I was born on land that's not my ancestral home, and I take that very seriously too. And I think, for those of us who came over a long time ago in different circumstances, half my family was flat out colonialists, the other half refugees. But we're all on someone else's ancestral land. So to me, that balance between cultural continuity and listening to where you are is really important, because I think that they can really get out of sorts. Like, there's an extreme within my Jewish family who doesn't think that anyone Jewish should marry anyone who isn't. Obviously, I don't agree with that, because that's not what I've done, and that's not what my parents did. But cultural continuity can go to that extreme, which for me is too much, personally. And the other is losing touch entirely. And we kind of do see what happens when people lose their culture. It's not great. Anyway, gefilte fish is the simplest way to do it.
It carries the tradition and new ideas. I wonder, like, if this meal changes where you're making, like, different fish, as you're saying, maybe like adapt to where the new place is, and then whatever that's available you use. Yeah,
absolutely. It's totally adaptable, and it has to be.
Yeah.
If there's I guess fresh water, if there's a lake and there's fish in it, I think you can make gefilte fish.
Yes. Yes. I was thinking, when I moved to Canada, my grandma said, my grandma was very against me moving to Canada, but she gave me 3 rules. Like, I already applied for university. I'm going there. Grandma, this is the map. Like, this is where I'm moving. And she said, okay, promise me 3 things. 1, you started it, you finish it. Make sure you graduate that university. And 2, make sure you come back to Japan after university, which I couldn't do it. And number 3 was never date Canadian man, is what she told me. Okay, we'll see. And then so that was a long time ago, like that. But now I'm married to a non-Japanese person, and my grandma passed away. But all my relatives in that generation, they are so welcoming. They are adapting, they are adjusting, and they understand, like, the generation's different, and like the world is changing. So you cannot be just like, oh, you have to marry a Japanese person, or like, oh, Jewish person has to marry a Jewish person. I think it's changing. The whole world is changing, is how I felt with my experience. You feel that?
Hope so. I mean, in my experience, yeah, my husband is not Jewish, and that's, everyone liked him. But my grandfather was pretty mad that I toured and performed in Germany.
Really? Wow.
He was just like, we don't support anything German.
Yeah.
But I can't argue with what they went through.
Yeah. Does he never buy, like, Volkswagen?
No. Jews barely ever do. Volkswagen's pretty bad one. No.
Wow. What about what extent? Like, does he ever listen to Beethoven?
Well, he's dead, so I don't know. I don't know, not anymore. Yeah, I don't know. Those things I don't know, and it also wasn't stuff that honestly was spoken about very often until I took a tour to Germany, and I had to talk to him, being like, "Look, people my age are also recovering from that trauma. The German people I met, the East Germans I've met, who are, I'm in my 40s now. Like, my East German friends were born behind the Berlin Wall and the Iron Curtain. Like, we watched it fall. Like, there's healing going on, but they were very difficult conversations to have. And I never let them. I covered my tattoos my whole life, or until they died.
Wow. Yeah. So everyone's mindset might be changing, but you also respect the people who haven't changed their mind, and keep the harmony.
I don't know. Do you have experiences like that from Japan, or they've adapted to you?
Well, the older generation said, okay, you're married to a foreigner, and they're very welcoming. That was a shock to me. I thought they would never be like that, so that was good. But I don't think I have forced to be like, oh, you're Japanese, you have to do this. I don't think I have ever had that in my family, upbringing or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure if I ask all my Japanese friends, they'll be say stuff, something like that. I wanted to be left-handed at some point. I'm a right-handed person, but I'm like, oh, lefties are so cool. So I started training myself using chopsticks with my left hand, but it was so hard. So I started just eating with fork for like few months. And then someone I knew a little bit older than me, people like, oh my gosh, your mom spoils you too much. And that was like, oh, that's a cultural thing. I think everyone has to be able to use chopsticks, otherwise you're not a good Japanese citizen.
Right.
That happened long time ago. But other than that, like, I don't know. I can't think of any like harsh things so much. Yeah. And as we're talking, I did 2 rolls. So
Okay, well now you did better, but I did a really pretty plating. I got the blintzes on them. I didn't make, I mean, the blintzes were like already kind of rolls, so I cheated.
Oh, yeah. It's the Jewish sushi of cheese. Okay, so Becky, I did both those 2.
Oh no.
Would you like to name them? How would you
Well,
call them?
I mean, I guess gefilte sush.
You felt the sushi.
Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty good. And then, I don't know what the blintzes. Yeah, gefilte sush, just in general. Speaking of chopsticks, I'm going to go grab my chopsticks.
Amazing.
Another part of my Vancouver upbringing was all the kids in Vancouver learned how to use chopsticks.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, the salsa water, someone taught you or learned very well. Kudos rice wrap or seaweed. Right, this is seaweed. Salsa water. Yeah, this. Well, if you did not know, monkey of the smack for 19%. I used to work in a sushi restaurant when I was a starving musician, so I could roll sushi in 30 seconds. And I can cut avocados, tens of avocados in a few minutes. So this is all the professional tips. Yeah, okay, we're gonna eat it. Oh, I need this. The horseradish, the wasabi, the pink wasabi. And this goes with the
fish. Yeah.
Okay. And then they also gave me this sauce. What is this sauce?
Oh, that's applesauce. That goes with the blintzes.
Okay. So it is like a sweet.
Yeah. So it comes with either applesauce, blueberry, or sour cream. And I find it really intense to eat sour cream on top of cheese. So it's cool, but it's a lot.
Okay. Let's have it. So are you going to eat it too?
What's that?
Are you going to eat one too?
Yeah, I'm just going to take a picture because I'm really proud of myself.
Amazing. Okay. Sean, how are you doing? Sean, I want you to put drum rolls, so we'll see. We're going to make it so dramatic. We're going to eat it.
We're going to do the fish first.
Yeah. Is there anything you say before you eat, like bon appetit kind of thing?
Oh, if you're religious, you say a prayer, which I don't know. And before drinking, so we'll say that's what we're doing. You say Lahaie, which means to life.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so
Lahaie. Okay, let's see. I mean, it's great.
Ego, run away! Don't get eaten. Wow. Oh, this just tastes like regular sushi to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it blends like really well.
Okay, I'm gonna have the fish by itself.
Okay, me too.
You know what? In Japan, we have something exactly the same. Like it tastes exactly the same as the fish sausage we have in Japan. Oh my god, This goes so well with, I'm sure, soy sauce and mayonnaise.
Yeah, I actually wanted some soy sauce too. We didn't mention these either. When you go to United, they give you the carrots that they boil the fish in, and they're special.
I rolled it in sushi. Not the kosher drum roll. Mark, you can do the drum roll. Kosher drum roll. Wow, the carrots. So soft. It melts in your mouth.
Okay. I want to see what this blintz sushi tastes like.
Yes. Soy sauce or no soy sauce?
I think no soy sauce. I think applesauce, no soy sauce.
Okay. Tell me how do you say it again?
Blintzes.
green cheese sushi, and you say to like
Oh, Lahaie.
Lahaie. Actually, Becky, you can sing in Hebrew if you want.
I can what?
Sing in Hebrew for me while I chew, and I don't want people
Sing to you in Hebrew? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want people to hear me.
I only know happy birthday.
Oh, that's perfect. You know what? That's perfect. My birthday is in 3 hours, 4 hours.
What?
It's
Okay,
already my birthday in Japan. Yay! That's perfect. Okay, this is my birthday cake, number 1. Okay.
I also only know the chorus. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, blah, 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 Ayaka, Yom Huledet Sameach. I don't know, Eitan, Liko, and you can correct me. I don't know how to do it. Okay, how is it in sushi? Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere interesting now.
I made a mistake.
What, eating it?
Thank you, Seann.
I mean, Ayaka, the options are only is it good or is it very good? So you look so sad.
Okay. This is I feel rude towards United Bakers. I'm gonna just have it by itself. So I'll show you how good it is. That was a mistake rolling it into sushi. It reminds me of the Jolui sushi that Japanese Charlie made me roll.
Really? Okay. I kind of thought it was more in the egg world and would taste good, actually.
Jolui was really bad. Okay, this by itself. Itadakimasu.
Okay.
So good. What kind of cheese is this?
I don't know. Seems like a kind of a blended up cottage cheese with some sugar in it. And then it's wrapped in like an eggy crepe. See, that's why I thought it would make sense in sushi, but I guess not.
So good. This is so good. I can see, yeah, this can be good with blueberries for sure.
Yeah, I should have got you some blueberries. Well, I guess I got to go back up there.
No, applesauce is great too. But with vinegary rice, not good. But this is good. Everybody go to United Bakers.
They're only open till 3 p.m. for dine-in with your Vax Pass, and then take out till 6. I had near panic today thinking I wasn't going to be able to get this stuff.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Well, Becky, I made a mistake rolling the cheese flying to sushi. I'll forget about that one. But I'll learn from the mistake. Next time, I would never roll that into sushi. But it's so good. It's something like fish market or like sushi place could definitely sell it. So if you ever want to open Japanese Jewish fusion sushi and name it, count up to 10. It's Jew.
Because Jew is the word for 10. Or gefilte sushi. Or, I mean, my people love a good pun. I'm sure we can come up with some good puns for a Jewish sushi place.
Teach that to Toast. Toast needs to learn.
How about
Mazel
toast?
Mazel toast. Yeah, that's it. Toast is fired. You're in. You're opening up from next week. Yeah, so this has to be Ayaka's Kitchen season premiere, season 6 of Bad Dog Comedy TV, and it was amazing. It was such an educational episode. So if you enjoyed it, support Bad Dog Comedy TV. There's a donation link underneath. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe, leave me no message. Sean. Thank you, Sean. Sean is the technical director of this show, and he is the one keep this show running. So thank you, Sean. And thank you everyone for watching. So many comments today, so many like educational comments. I feel like I learned a lot, but also I want to learn more. So I'm gonna be Googling. Google is not good. I should go to the library and learn it. But yeah,
There's a lot
it
on
was,
Google.
I have lots of questions, like even more now, because now this is delicious. I wanna look up recipe and stuff too. But yeah, thank you so much, Becky, for showing me new culture and new food. I've never ever tried anything like this, and found some similarity with Japanese, like wasabi and the fish sausage, and it's great. So thank you so much, Becky.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. And honestly, we're so lucky to live in Toronto. This is the best gefilte fish in the world.
Oh, everybody goes to
concerned.
United Bakers. Yeah. Okay, Becky, how do you say like thank you or goodbye or ciao, like that kind of stuff in Hebrew?
Well, you say, I mean, in Hebrew, shalom is goodbye, but you can also say, I just forgot how to say thank you. Toda. Toda rabba.
Toda.
Thank you very much.
Toda rabba. Okay, Becky, toda rabba. Thank you. Toda.